Welcome back to our program, We Connect. Thank you so much for staying right there with us. And I'm right here with my rather vivacious and bubbly guest, if that's the right word for him, Wilber Sargunaraj. Calls himself a performing artist, and he has been explaining what this means to him. Now, Wilber, performing artist, there are so many different things it encompasses.
That's right.
Let's talk about what's the part of it that you like best.
Well, I was trying when we were talking earlier, trying to make this point, but when I'm going at 150 kilometers per hour, sometimes lose track. So
150 is not right, it's 500.
500, that's right. So I just remembered, coming back to the point that I was trying to make about why it's so important for me to perform. Now, see, it's so important because in this day and age, everyone is connecting on social media. And everybody does not have FaceTime anymore. What I mean is that people are on their phones texting. People get upset if they call you. Please text me, don't call me.
I know.
A phone is meant to call a person, but now we're living in the age of that. It's just messages going on Facebook, on Twitter, and it's microblogging now on Twitter. In this day and age, for me, it's so exciting that when I get a chance to perform, it's my community. It's called the Wilber Worldwide Community. That's my company name, Wilber Worldwide. And it's basically the community, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube. It gives us a chance for people to really come and to face interact with me and also with others, and to actually take action in the things that I'm telling them, saying whether that be philosophical, humanitarian, all those different things. When we come and we do a concert, people get a chance to see realistically that, wow, okay, he is really talking like that about these issues and he's very serious about that. That's why it's so important for me to stress enough that, social media is important, but try to spend FaceTime with your friends, because that era is fast disappearing.
That's true, because we did have somebody on our show couple of shows ago, and we were talking about exactly this point.
Right.
Now, I want to move forward.
Sure.
You're involved in something called cultural intelligence.
Yes.
I need to draw you out. What does it mean?
See, okay, you have, it's an actual academic term.
Is that true?
IQ, we have a term called IQ, everyone knows
Yes.
IQ, you want to increase your IQ. Actually, no, it's not true, because sometimes people say you cannot increase your IQ, you're born with that IQ. There's IQ, EQ, which is emotional intelligence, and there is also CQ, which is cultural intelligence. Now,
So this is a new buzzword, is
It's
it?
a buzzword.
All right.
It's very, very popular now among businesses and companies, because there's so much globalization that's going on right now.
So how are you involved with this?
So with this right now, because so many people have seen throughout my travels that I've been able to connect with so many different people from different parts of the world, I'm really blessed that I've been able to travel to these places. People say, how many countries have you been to? That's not the point. It's not about how many countries you've been to. For me, it's really about the people. It's not about how many pictures I've taken about these monuments, but it's more about what have I learned from the people there. So, coming back to this whole thing about cultural intelligence, when there is an actual academic institution based out of Singapore, there's another office in Michigan, United States. And the one in Singapore is run by Madam Ang Soon. She's an actual professor there of cultural intelligence. She wrote a thesis or doctorate all on CQ. Their team saw the videos that I was doing, whether that be dancing with a Maasai, or being in Hong Kong talking to a Chinese person, or in Cambodia or Thailand, all these different places, or in Rwanda. They saw that I had a very unique way of interacting with these people. CQ, if I can define it very quickly, is about your ability to interact with a person from a different culture.
Right. And this, of course, didn't come to you because of academic performance.
Not at all.
And I think that's what I want to draw you
That's
out on
right.
now.
And for me, it's very hard for me to even understand, because people say, well, why are you a CQ person? And I say, I don't know. Because I was born with a passion for engaging with people from different cultures. So, see, for example, I had a friend who came from the Congo. Many people, here's a CQ thing. People out in the West, they wear underarm deodorant, for example. That is to make the smell go away. A lot of people, I grew up even here in Tamil Nadu, we never used to put anything underneath our arms. People in Africa, the same thing. He came to the West, and then all of a sudden people in his school started making fun of him. So as a friend, at that time, I had kind of understood the way, okay, culturally intelligent, I need to, make sure that I,
Cultural, yes.
So I told him, I said, why don't you actually put, this thing?
Right.
And then for him, it was new. And he was like, oh, wow, this is something that I'm learning. And I love to be able to connect with people like that, to show that I care for them enough to say, like, you know, if you actually learn, you know, this is what you can do in able to be in this situation, you know.
Now, Wilbur, you were not particularly interested in studies and pursuing an academic career, and that hasn't bothered you in the least.
No, you know, see, my education has been, honestly, people say, you know, Wilbur, they first think that I'm very rich just because I'm like a popular figure, but that's not true. Richness for me is I have another definition for richness. I am very rich because of the people that I meet. I'm actually quite rich today because I met you, madam.
Pleasure.
We're having a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
The same way,
Our pleasure.
I am so rich because of the people that I've met from different countries. And that once again ties back to cultural intelligence. I am rich because of my high, how do I say it? Because of the relationships that I have developed with people. People have so much to offer you. And I'm talking not just about rich people, I'm talking about poor people. They can just, their smile can make a difference and can change you. That's why I feel so rich. And that's another definition that I have.
Now, Wilbur, you were born in Canada. Your parents actually had gone to Canada. You've come back and you now perform all over the world. So let's get it from you. Where are you based? Do you consider yourself Indian, Canadian, a global person?
Yes,
what?
that's you know, what's very exciting, I would consider myself a global citizen.
Really?
I really do. I don't like, you know, because because people like to take you and to pigeonhole. The Canadians will say, oh, you're a Canadian citizen because you have a Canadian passport or something like that, or you're here, living here in Toronto or something. The people in Tamil Nadu or in India would say, oh, he's India's first YouTube star because he has lived here, but because I spent most of my life living in India. How can you define yourself?
So which is your base then?
My base right now, I am living right now in Toronto, lot of times. But see, a lot of times I'm on the road somewhere. I lived in Japan for a year. Right now, I'll be in Australia for about 2 weeks in February. We're doing a tour there in February. I'll be coming back to shoot the movie, the Simple Superstar movie, in April in India. And so with all these different trips going around and meeting all these different people, I really consider myself a global citizen. I really don't like to base myself on just a piece of paper. You know, I really consider myself a global citizen through the conversations, through the meetings, through the travels, through all these people that I have met.
The people who know you, the people who like you, the people who are your fans, what do they consider you to be? A performing artist?
They call me with one name, madam, a Simple Superstar, which is the name of the second album that I released. Because I've been able just to talk with them and they really consider, you know what, he is a very simple person. He's not a superstar, because I don't want to offend the Rajinikanth fans.
Yes, that's right.
I'm a simple superstar. I don't consider myself, I am just a very common person, and it's my vision statement, madam, making the common extraordinary, taking common things and making them extraordinary.
Right. Wilber Sargunaraj, it's been my absolute pleasure to talk to you. I love your boundless energy.
Thank you so much, madam.
Grateful to you.
It's been wonderful to be on We Connect here.
Well, that's all we have time for, and I am almost reluctantly letting my guest go. But don't forget to watch this particular show. In fact, watch every single We Connect, Friday nights at 9:30. And until we are with you again, you take care. Bye for now. Your body, oh,